Have you ever seen a better looking beer? Hello, it's Maffew and welcome back to MattMeals. And oh boy, some fun we're gonna have because we're gonna make Maffew's Firecracker Crab Cakes. Now, if I finish this, I want you to remind me to try to say that 3 times fast. Firecracker Crab Cakes, Firecracker Crab Cakes, Firecracker Crab Cakes. Barely do it now, let's take a swig. Now, here's the deal with this whole thing, with the crab cakes. It calls for, first of all, seafood MattMeals. Let's hear it.
Yay!
It calls for jumbo lump crab. Okay, jumbo lump crab. So what that means is the good stuff. Now, no imitation bullshit crab meat. I'm sorry. You know that stuff is like some kind of like whitefish that they take and then they dye the top of it like red to make it look like crab meat. And you say, ooh, gross, you're buying it. You are. This costs $40 a pound, which I didn't look at the price tag till I already rung it up, and I'm like, at that point, I'm committed to it. So anyway, this is good. It's got a little heat on it. So sit back and think about the summertime, and then think about crab cakes and summertime beach trips, and enjoy this shirt. Oh boy, it's Maffew's Firecracker Crab Cakes. Firecracker Crab Cakes, Firecracker Crab Cakes, yeah! Almighty, we're back. It's MattMeals. It's Firecracker Crab Cakes. Firecracker Crab Cake. Speaking of that, the mug that we showed earlier, this was actually a gift from the wrestling legend himself. He'll tell you, Jeff Lewis Neal. He gave me this for Christmas. So, one of the few Christmas gifts that I still use today. Now, let's get going on mixing all this together. First of all, we're going to take us a large egg. We're going to crack this into our bowl here. Not getting any of the shell in there because, you know what? I can't remember what it was one time. My Aunt Brenda, we'll bleep that out in production. My aunt cooked something one time and there was the eggshell in there and it went up between my grandma's teeth. I think like it went up in there and she had to go to the dentist and it was a whole thing. So we got the egg. We want to whisk that. All right. Ooh, crab cakes. You know, crab cakes are great, but if they got heat on them, I love them that much more. Especially if I'm drinking, because if it gets hot, then you got to deal with all that. Now, in this cup here, just to save a little bit of time, I got my mayonnaise, got my honey Dijon mustard, I got my Worcestershire sauce, or my Worcestershire sauce, ever how you say it. Got some hot sauce in there, as well as some red pepper flakes. Now, the full recipe is down in the description below, but I figured you just want to get to the point with this, right? Who's got the time for a 30-minute meal? I mean, really, or whatever it was. All right, so we got all that in there. We're going to whisk this real good. And don't forget the full recipe's in the description below. And if you would, share it around. I mean, my Lord, why wouldn't you? Look, this shirt, for instance, is reason enough because I'm in beach mode right now, and when we're taping this, it ain't nothing but April. But reason it's beach mode is because we got my tax money back. Thinking about where we're gonna go. Now we got all this, all mixed in together. We got parsley and green onion. Be very careful with it because people always point out when I'm very violent when I'm throwing in the mixtures. Got that, and then I wish I hadn't taken it. Well, here it is. Stay where you are, camera lady. This is just half of the big old red pepper that we had. But anyway, the red pepper, we're throwing this in there, red bell pepper. Put that in, get it all in there. And we're gonna make some crab cakes here in just a minute. Get it all mixed up real nice. And you can already just see it formatting in there together real good on the first ever seafood MattMeals. And when we come back, we're gonna add in that very expensive jumbo lump crab meat. None of that imitation BS here, folks. We're gonna add that in, and also the crackers. It's MattMeals. Ooh, Lord. Firecracker Crab Cakes. And we drinking on this one because when you think summertime, do you not think seafood and drinking and the beach and all that stuff? All right, I know I do. So far we got all this concoction mixed together. Remember, full recipe down in the description below. Oh, it's catching up with me. Did you catch a little bit of tongue roll on that one? It's catching up with me. Full recipe down in the description below. So we're gonna take this expensive ass crab meat that we talked about, this jumbo lump crab meat that, I mean, it was $40 a pound, but if you've had real crab meat versus the imitation, dye job, whatever that stuff is, then you know what the difference is, or if you've eaten at a fine seafood house. Although, I ate it, oh God, I can't think of the name of it right now, but there's one in Boston, a charter house, something like that, that is billed as one of the best seafood restaurants in North America. No, not the case. So anyway, let's just get all this in there. Gotta be real gentle with it, because you paid, first of all, for jumbo lump crab meat. You don't want to sit there and break it apart. Plus, if you've had, look at that, it just fell right out, that's perfect. If you've had crab cakes before, you know what it's like to take a bite and have a big old piece of crab meat in it. So, what we'll do here is we're just going to slowly, just gently fold this crab meat around in there, because again, you want to keep it intact because you paid for the quality. So we're going to get it real, you know, coated really good, and then once the crab meat is all wet and moist on all sides without tearing it apart, then we're going to add in the crackers. But I'm serious when I say take your time when doing this, because it's pretty important, because, you know, I mean, you go in and, yeah, you ever went to a cheap seafood place and you go take a bite of like a devil crab cake, or like even a, what is it called, like flounder or something, and the whole bite's nothing but breading? You don't want that, okay? So this is quality right here. Take your time with it. Now, the crackers, the cracker crumbs, saltines, that's what I used here. You want to go great value, you want to go whatever, do it. But again, be very gentle when adding this in. We're calling this folding. They call this, you know, we were doing dredging through before. This one's folding through, okay? We're going to be very, very methodical almost with how we're folding this, because we want to try to keep that lump crab together right there and intact, okay? So, funny thing is about them crackers, that's one thing is kind of interesting is, I grew up in a Baptist church, and when we do the Lord's Supper, if somebody forgot to order the little unleavened bread or whatever, it was saltines. And that's just weird to me. It's like, oh, you know, oh, okay. Anyway, I'm off on a tangent. It's Maffew's Firecracker Devil Crab Cakes. Oh my God, it's gonna be good. You just wait. Doesn't that look delightful? It's Maffew's Firecracker Crab Cakes, and I got these already balled up, folded out real nicely, and I'm gonna take this last one here. And remember, if this needs to be wet, it needs to be moist. Now, you want it to not be too dense as well. I know it makes very little sense, but if you've done these before, you know exactly what I'm talking about, because you want them to stay together but not fall apart. Now, so if they get a little too dense, add more crackers. That's the simplest way to do it. Now, we're going to take these onto the skillet. I got my oil in here, shimmering, all looking real nice. We're going to get this perfectly patted up. Don't mash it. Don't you dare mash it. But just ball it up real nice. And we're going to throw this in there, and ever so gently, because you don't want this sucker to fall apart. Because again, there's something about biting into that crab cake and have a big old piece of lump crab meat in there. So we're gonna let these cook until dark golden brown. That's the way I like them. They'll cook about 3 to 5 minutes on each side. And then when we come back, we're gonna have a little tasting time. Oh boy, it's MattMeals.
Nice to see you. It's been a long time
almighty. It's my favorite time. My favorite part of Mattmeals is tasting time. We got our Firecracker Crab Cake. Just took it right out of the pan. And I'm going to take some fresh lemon juice. Not too much. Put that on there. That'll help cool it off. Because you want to serve this piping hot right out of there. And you use lemon, or I know a lot of you weirdos use tartar sauce. That's awful. That is like relish and mayonnaise or something. That's awful. But do whatever you want to do and enjoy it. Alright, now you remember how I said I like getting a big old hunk of lump crab meat in the first bite, or all the bites to be honest. And take it, you see them highfalutin people with wine, they're like, I get it, smell this before you eat it. Damn it, that's good. Alright, here we go. Maffew's Firecracker Crab Cakes. I knew it. I knew it was going to be good. It ain't to say that everything I make is good, but I just smelled it cooking in here and reading all the directions and all the ingredients. I knew how it's all going to mix out. My Lord, this is great. And the thing about it is, I love like hot food, spicy food. So if you want to add less of the red pepper flakes or more, do whatever you want to do. But do me this favor. Share this video on your social media. Help spread the word around with Mattmeals. If I ever get fired on the radio, this is how we're going to pay for everything. And I got a kid that'll be in college eventually. So follow me at Maffew on your social media and share this around for us, or for me. And next Mattmeals, dessert. Yeah, that's right. Hot and mighty. It's Mattmeals.
Oh, Maffew.